Approximately 100,000 children are adopted in the United States each year. There are about 120,000 children presently available for adoption in the United States. It is estimated that 40% of the children available for adoption are over 12 years of age. There are more adoptions in the United States than the combined total for the rest of the world.
There are a number of married and unmarried women who find themselves pregnant and decide not to seek an abortion. Instead, they decide to carry their babies full term, seek an adoption agency or an attorney, and place their infants up for adoption. My wife and I were fortunate someone made this decision, for this is how we adopted our son and daughter. Hi, I'm Joe Feinstein, and today on Teen Talk, we're not going to speak to adoption agency personnel or psychologists or social workers. Today we're going to discover all about adoption as seen through the eyes of the adoptees themselves. Welcome, panel. Welcome to Teen Talk. Some people claim the life of an adoptee is different from the life of natural children. And I'm wondering, do any of you feel a difference this way? Randy?
Yeah, I feel that I'm treated the same. And my sister is adopted also, and we're treated just like my brother. There's no difference.
Teen
Family
Talk
has made no
on
difference at all?
adoption.
No?
A discussion with host Joe Feinstein and 7 high school students on the subject of adoption.
Is there any difference going on with you?
There's no difference. I'm treated like I was born to my parents.
Really?
Yeah.
What about your situation, Heidi?
I'm the one that's spoiled.
You're the one that's spoiled?
Spoiled.
Really?
My sister doesn't like it.
Is your sister natural born or adopted?
She's natural born.
And is there any treatment? You're spoiled.
I'm spoiled. Well, she thinks so at least.
She thinks so.
I think so too.
You think so too? Really?
Yeah.
She likes it.
Eric, your situation is?
I have 2 younger brothers who are both natural, and I feel there's no difference in the way we were raised or in the way we're treated at all.
Mm-hmm.
We're all treated equally.
Sherry, you have some natural brothers and sisters?
Yeah, well, my older sister, we get along good, but it's like my younger sister, she seems more spoiled.
How,
She gets
in
more
what way?
attention. Well, she gets more attention than everybody.
Does this bother you?
Not really, because we're in different places,
Mm-hmm.
different houses.
Different houses. Oh, so
Yeah.
there's been a divorce in your situation?
Yes.
Has that created any problem for you in terms of, different parents and step-parents and so on?
No, it hasn't.
Uh-huh. How were you guys told you were adopted?
As soon as I was able to understand, my parents explained to me. And I'm glad they explained to me when I was able to understand instead of waiting, because I have a good friend who is 16 years old, and he was just told a year ago.
Just told a year ago.
Yeah.
What happened?
He was discussing it with his mom one day, and she told him, and it shocked him. I mean, he was really shocked, and I would be if I was told,
So you're saying that you've known this all the time?
I've known this ever since I can remember.
Susie, how were you told you were adopted?
I wasn't told outright. My parents used to read us stories about the people who would choose their children, and I don't ever remember them sitting me down and saying, "You're adopted." I just always knew I was adopted.
The adoptee darling daughter kind of thing? Is that the way they kind of said it?
I guess so.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember.
Lynn, how were you told you were adopted?
Well, I have 2 younger brothers who are both adopted also. So they kind of, first they told me and my older brother, because my little brother was still only about 4 years old. He didn't really understand it. And then one night at dinner, all of a sudden, I guess I was about 8, when we were all at the table together and he was able to understand. They told us all of us at the same time then.
You were all told at the same time. Do you remember your reaction or how you felt about when you were told?
I just thought, wow, that's it. And then it's just like, go back and eat your dinner. I didn't, I didn't think it was anything special or, to make a big deal about.
Really not?
No, I figured, well, these are my parents. They love me, and this is a family.
Mm-hmm.
Why let anything try to disturb
No
that?
big deal. In other words, just a word.
Yeah.
Just a word, Jeff?
Yeah. It's
Really?
just a word.
How about that word chosen? You often hear that the chosen child. Do you feel like a chosen child?
No, not at all.
Not at all?
Not at all.
Just kind of hatched and stuff like that?
I'm just there.
Just there.
Just
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You feel chosen?
In a way, I feel like I was chosen to be put into a good family.
You were chosen to be?
Put into a good family. You know, it could have ended up that she decided to keep me.
Who's the she?
My natural mother. And that maybe I wouldn't have such a good life, so I feel like I was chosen to have a great life, you know? That's, in that respect, I do. But
That's a lovely way to put it. That's a really lovely way to put it. Chosen to have a very special kind of life. Really. Do you feel like a chosen child, Sherry?
In a way.
What way?
I don't know.
Someone special or someone not so special?
Yeah, well, that's someone that it's given me up that seemed like they didn't really care, or they couldn't afford to keep me, and that someone new came and picked me out, so they liked me and figured that they can afford me and keep me.
Do you know that there's a theory and a feeling, guys, that it's not just that your parents chose you, but that you chose your parents? Do you think that there's any possibility that you kind of came into this world to be there for those two people who came in one day a number of years ago and chose you? You think maybe you chose them, Eric?
That's a real hard question.
That's a hard one, huh? That's a little spooky, huh?
Yeah. Now that's dealing with faith in God. I mean, I was too young to choose them.
You think so?
But if it was meant to be, that's a different.
Adoption laws are now in a shifting position. When we adopted our children, we were promised anonymity and secrecy forever. All the birth records were going to be sealed, and the identities of my baby's natural parents were never going to be revealed. And today, these promises are being upset by the desire to change the law so that you, as adoptees, can find your natural parents if you want to reveal yourselves to them, and they can find you if they want to reveal themselves to you. And if there's a matchup of you and they, then there is a possibility that you will be with your natural parents. This law is changing in a number of states, and I'm wondering, how do you people feel? How do you feel about the law, and how many of you would seek your biological parents if you could? Jeff?
I already have seeked my biological mother, and I found
You
her.
sought out your biological mother.
Yeah.
And when did that take place?
About a month and a half ago.
A month and a half
I met
ago.
her.
Can you tell us what took place?
Well, what took place is my parents gave me a decree of adoption with my name at birth on it, and I just took it from there and followed it up, and I found her, and we met and talked.
What
What
did
was
you think
it?
of her?
It was just unique how everything happened. It was just kind of a shock to both of us that we saw each other, and it was just really weird.
Did you look alike?
Yeah, a lot alike. Yeah, at least I thought so.
How's it affected your mother right now? Not your natural mother.
Not that hard. At first it was hard for her to grasp because I did it so fast. You know, it took me 3 weeks. And it was just, she finally realized that I was really adopted and I really wasn't, you know, her kind of flesh and blood, I guess.
Was she offended that you wanted to do that in any way? Like, take it personal, like, you know, not that you wanted to find your natural mother, but sort of like going against her, like maybe you weren't happy with her and you wanted to go find someone else, you know? Maybe.
No,
She didn't feel like-
because we've always been really open about the topic. And she's known that since I was about like 8 or 10 or something, I've always wanted to, couldn't wait till I was 18 to go find him, you know?
Yeah.
what about your natural father? How come you didn't?
I just haven't gotten around to getting to him yet.
You do plan?
Yeah, I've got a phone number. I just haven't gotten around to calling it yet.
So you call the number, you dial the number, and this guy answers the phone and says, hello.
What do you say?
What do you respond?
Say, hello, my name is Jeff, and I was adopted through Vista Del Mar on April 30th, 1963.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to know if this means anything to you.
and after the thud, after he faints and so forth, and then somebody starts reviving him. Do you feel like you're encroaching on their territory? That maybe this is not something for them to be. He doesn't want to really handle it. He doesn't want to really hear from you.
Okay, well, that's the first thing I said to my birth mother when I called her.
What'd you say?
I said, please tell me now if you don't want me interfering in your life so I can stop at this point.
What was her reaction?
Well, she said she was really happy that I called her, you know, and that she's been thinking about me for, you know, the 18 years.
Did she ever look for you?
No, she didn't.
You know, you guys know that there are some 14 people out there in this world who have, you know, sired you. You are their biological child, and they are your biological parents. How many of you would seek out your parents? I mean, you're going to be 18 very soon. Jeff is 18 now, so he has that privilege. Would you do it, Heidi?
Yes.
You want to?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me why.
I don't know, curiosity. I really want to meet my natural mother. I don't know why, but I don't really have that much interest in meeting my natural father for some reason. I don't know.
Him not, but yes to her.
Yes, I would. I would.
And Susie, you want to meet your parents, your biological parents?
I thought I didn't before, and then I had a talk with someone about a week ago, ever since the meeting we had, and I decided that I probably would want to find my mother, because I'm real curious to know what she looks like and if I look like her, you know.
Is there any other thing that you'd like to know about? I mean, the qualities or her values or
yeah, I want to know
ethics?
what kind of person she is, but I don't need to know why she put me up for adoption. I'm
That's
not going to
not-
ask her that.
Uh-huh.
I mean, obviously she wanted me to have a better life, or she wouldn't have.
Okay. Randy, you going to look for your biological parents?
I don't think so. It doesn't seem to bother me.
That's not a factor that bothers you?
No, it doesn't.
Have you thought about why?
Just because it really wouldn't make any difference, really. 'Cause I still have my mom, and she's been my mom since I was 1 month old. It wouldn't change anything.
My mom is my mom is my mom.
Right.
Okay, all right. It's kind of like a rose is a rose is a rose, and there's something that way. Lynn, you going to look?
I don't know. Ever since this whole show's been brought up, it's got my mind thinking again.
It does.
When I was younger, I used to, because from the adoption agency, your parents that adopt you get a little sheet of paper. I think most of them do, that tells about your what your parents looked like, a little bit about the personality and stuff. And from the paper, when I read it, I guess I should look like my biological father, and that's kind of always interested me. And just the kind of people they are. They sound like good people, and I kind of thank them for putting me up for adoption.
Do you think you'll be hurting the feelings of your mother and father if you decide to go look for them?
I don't know about my dad, but I know my mom would. It would take her a long time before she understood what I was going to do.
There was a letter in the LA Times just recently from this a woman, 67, who wrote about her 31-year-old adopted daughter who went to see and find her natural children, her natural mom. And she was so upset. She had felt so betrayed because of this. And now, it's been months later, and the daughter and the mother have gotten together again, and she realizes that this was not a betrayal of her, that there's a natural curiosity on your parts to find them, to seek them out. Yeah, go ahead.
How would you feel if your children?
Well, I had a tough time with this one, Susie. A couple of years ago, I really would have felt that kind of betrayal and that kind of anger and fright. I think fright is probably the biggest adjective that I could describe. And I was really scared, but I don't feel that way. Now that I've been doing a lot more research, I did a lot of research for the show, and I was very concerned that I understand this situation, not only as personally, but from another dimension. And now that I understand it, I'm really concerned that I will go along and offer whatever assistance, not a hell of a lot, but I will offer some assistance to my kids if they want to seek out their biological parents. I know my son does. My daughter said, that she was a little bit not as interested and concerned about that. Eric, do you want to?
Yes, I've always had this desire. There's a curiosity that's built up in me. And when I was about 10 years old, I was really curious. And my parents have been really great. They haven't held anything back. When they saw that I was curious, they took me down to the adoption agency. And I got a paper like what Lynn was saying, had all sorts of information about what they were like and their personality. It doesn't give a name, so that makes it hard. So that's what you have to look for.
Jeff, you poured through records, didn't you? You was down there for hours and hours looking.
Yeah.
And your mother helped you, didn't she?
Oh yeah, she found my birth mother's marriage certificate.
And she was the one that gave you the number, in a sense.
Well, she helped a lot because she was the one that called my birth grandmother to get my birth mother's phone number.
Oh, wow. Would your mother do that for you now?
Yes. We've talked about it, and both my parents said that they'd help me. They want me to find him if I really want to. So they really want to help me.
A little 5-year-old boy walked up to his mother and father and said, "Where do I come from?" And the mother and father racked their brain and said, "Uh-oh, it's now time to tell him the story." So they sat down and they started telling him all about sperms and eggs and fertilization and intercourse and vaginas and all the parts of the body. And when they finished the whole story and with the embryos and the fetus, and they said, "That, Johnny, that's where you came from." And he says, "No, no, no, Tommy down the street comes from Cincinnati. Where do I come from?" And the whole business of adoption sometimes is really, where do you come from and what's going on? That's a bad joke, I know. What are some of the questions that still remain for you to want to ask about your adoption? Are there any things that still are kind of, question marks and puzzles for you? Randy?
Well, I've always wondered, just one question, I've always wondered what my last name would have been. That's the only question I have.
Your last name?
Yeah, it's just curious.
What about your first name?
Well, I don't think if they wanted to put me up for adoption, they probably wouldn't have had a name.
Well, technically, you have had 2 different names. Your birth certificate has been sealed, but you were given a birth certificate by whoever your biological parent has named you, and you have another name somewhere on record. That was changed to whatever your name is now on the basis of what your mom and dad did. Same thing goes with our children, too.
I never knew that.
You never knew that?
Yeah. I thought, the name I was given, that was my name.
Well, that is your name. This is your name, and that, to all intents and purposes in the world and the law and all the rest of it, is your name.
Oh, then I can answer your question now.
All right.
I wonder what my name would have been.
Really? What would my name have been? Do you have a name for yourself that you would really love to choose if you could?
No, I like my name.
You like your name?
My last name I've always kind of had wondered about.
Well, okay. All right. We won't tell about that. Eric, you have any questions?
I've just always wondered what my lifestyle would have been like if I wasn't adopted, if I ended up living with my natural mother. I've always wondered, where I'd live, how I'd live. Just questions like that.
Well, you know that with the million teenage pregnancies that are going on in the United States today, and with more and more young ladies deciding to keep their babies, that question will be answered for those children in the way that you will never really know.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm glad, though, that I was given up for
You
adoption.
Were. Why?
I feel that my natural parents cared enough to make sure that I had a good home and was raised well. And I feel really happy about the family that I have.
I'm so glad that you're saying that, because that's exactly the way I feel too. My synonym for the word adoption is love. My synonym for the word adoption is unselfishness of the highest degree and order by a woman who decided to enable us, my wife and myself, to have the 2 children that we have, which we would not have had if she wasn't as unselfish and as loving as she was at that particular time. I'm noticing that my hands are in almost a prayer style as I'm talking now, and that's interesting that the feeling is there tied in with what I'm saying. Jeff, do you have any questions that remain?
No, all mine have been answered.
And when you met your biological
Yeah.
mom?
What you've just been talking about is weird because she told me that she was glad she gave me up because of the way it turned out.
How did that
Which kinda-
feel to hear?
It felt good because, you know, she was happy, I was happy, everybody was happy.
Adoptive children, like all other children, are naturally curious during adolescence. Parents, it's imperative that you understand this curiosity. It doesn't mean that your kids love or honor you any less because they want to seek their natural or biological parents. Some parents react with anger, fright, and frustration, and some feel a sense of betrayal. I can only encourage you to believe in yourself and replace your confused feelings with the knowledge that you are that child's parents. You've done everything to perform the acts, the rites, the love of giving to your child. There are two books that deal with this subject very, very adequately. One is You and Your Adopted Child, a public affairs pamphlet written by Ida LaShawn, available from New York, and The Adoption Triangle by Panner, Barron, and Sorosky, dealing with the laws, the changing laws on adoption. Panel, you are absolutely wonderful. I really enjoyed the sensitivity that you showed for the problems today. This is Joe Feinstein for Teen Talk saying sayonara later.